Good morning. It's so nice to be with you all again. Today, I have a new book to share with you. I hope you remember and enjoyed the book about families that we read together last week. This week, we're going to be talking about differing abilities. And the book that I have to share with you is called Different is Awesome. So here we go. Let's go ahead and get started. Yesterday, it was my turn to bring something to class for show and tell. I didn't bring a stuffed animal or a remote control car or the picture of an alien that I drew. What do you think the little boy brought to show and tell? I brought my brother, Ryan. When Ryan was born, his left hand was missing. He learned to do everything anybody else could do, though. He just did it a little bit differently. When my friends saw Ryan, some of them said funny things like, "Whoa, wow, huh?" I didn't care, and neither did Ryan. We're used to people not knowing what to say. If they found $100 in a bag of chips, they'd probably make the same sounds. His arm was a surprise, that's all. My friends had a lot of questions for my brother. Sam, who was the tallest kid in class, asked, "Can you tie your shoes?" "Yep," said Ryan. He showed us how he tied his shoes and said, "See, I can do it just a little bit differently." Anna, who had curly blonde hair, asked, "Can you ride a bike?" "Sure can," said Ryan. "I love riding my bike, especially going fast over jumps." And here on this page, you can see Ryan riding his bike. Joey, who had red hair, asked, "Can you play baseball?" "You bet," said Ryan. "My favorite position is pitcher. And one time I even hit a home run." And there's Ryan playing baseball. Claire, who has a birthmark on her cheek, asked, "Can you shoot a basketball?" "Totally," said Ryan. "I love making three-point shots." Noah, who wears glasses, asked, "Can you jump rope?" "It's tricky," said Ryan, "but I can do it if I try really hard." So there's a picture of Ryan concentrating and trying hard, and he's jumping rope. June, who was the shortest kid in class, had been sitting off to the side. She quietly asked, "Does your arm hurt?" "Actually, no," said Ryan. "Since I was born this way, it feels like any other part of my body. There's nothing to be afraid of." Jack, whose eyes were green, asked, "Can you juggle?" "Yes," said Ryan. "One time I juggled in the gym for the entire recess." There you can see a younger Ryan juggling in the gym. Charlie, who had dark skin, asked, "Can you play golf?" "For sure, I can hit the ball far and straight," said Ryan. Martin, who had a cast on his leg, asked, "Can you play video games?" "I love video games," said Ryan. "Sports games are my favorite." So there he is. Billy, who was missing his two front teeth, asked, "Is there anything you can't do?" "Sure," said Ryan. "There's a few things I can't do, but all of us have a hard time doing some things, right? Usually, if I can't do something one way, I just keep trying different ways until I figure it out." I was glad my brother came to show and tell. He looks a little different than most of us, but we're all different somehow, aren't we? I looked at my friends who were sitting around my brother. They liked him a lot, only not as much as I do. I noticed that June was short and Sam was tall. Anna had curly blonde hair and Joey had red hair. Claire had a birthmark and Noah wore glasses. Jack had green eyes and Charlie had dark skin. Martin had a cast and Billy was missing his 2 front teeth. And me, I have freckles. Everyone is different, and do you know what I think? Being different is awesome. That is the end of our book. And I wanted to share that with you today because we are talking about during our church service, differing abilities, and in our church in general, about as we all get back together eventually in person, how do we make sure that our church services and our activities and our spaces and our chairs and our special events are accessible or welcoming to everyone, whether they have 1 arm or 2, whether they might walk on their feet or wheel in a stroller or a wheelchair, whether they speak or read the same language or maybe a different one. There's lots of ways to celebrate being the same and having things in common, but also being different and unique. I have a repeat after me prayer to share with you as we close up our children's time for today. Please repeat with me. Dear God, thank you for today. Thank you for all the things that I can do. And thank you for the things I'm still learning to do. Thank you for the ways that we are the same. And thank you for the ways we are different. And thank you for loving me. Amen. See you next time.